Hey guys, Zueljin here. Welcome to another episode on Life in the Woods. Like y'all saw last episode, this is a server that Von Ryder and Almach are hosting, and I'm on with some other great people like Orcus and Badge and Blue Bayou and Joe Hills. But I digress. We need to get started here. I have very limited inventory, just enough basically to get me well fed to start off an episode, and I think I'm going to go down to this little mining encampment. Since last episode I have changed a couple things. I'm using the Sortex Fanbear resource pack. There's a modded version of it called the Universal Pack, and it's got a load of modded textures in it, so I'm using that. Also, I'm using the Sildar Shaders mod. There is Seuss Shaders mod as well that I'm playing around with, but it does some wicked things with the slope textures for the carpenter blocks, so I'm probably going to avoid that except for maybe some screenshots and maybe some video footage here and there. So the first thing we need to do is really go down and get some stone and iron. I'm going to need a lot of wood for the type of builds that I'm going to be doing, and I'll talk more about that on the way down. Vaughn had a little setup here for a mining operation, I believe, and ooh, there should be quite a bit, quite a bit of stuff that I can get. This is probably nope. There's still, I don't know if this is the regular kind of stone. Is that cobble? That's basalt cobble, so that's a little bit different, but I believe it's still good for a pick. Hopefully, I don't have a lot of experience in this mod, but I do have a little bit. With some of the other mods, and I did a little bit of research, just enough to where I know what's going on with the block types and stuff and how to use carpenter's blocks, because that's mostly what I'm interested in. I'm going to be doing a lot of building. It's going to be very wood focused too. It's not going to be as modern as I usually build in a lot of my other videos that you may see, but it's going to be, I mean, it's not going to be old-timey, you know. It's going to be some good looking stuff, so I assure you that you will enjoy it, as will I. But the first thing we really need to do is get into the habit of talking again. The typical style of video that I do is kind of explaining what I do as I go, and I think this is going to be no different, although I am going to hide some of the more boring progress, but I figured the first few baby steps were something that I needed to share on camera due to the fact that there's so much really to learn and to give y'all an idea of kind of how I get set up. Let's see. Okay, so we got plenty of stone to at least get some normal tools going, and before I get any iron, I'm definitely going to need to get the stone pick. Do we have a crafting bench down here? No, there should be a crafting bench down here. Let's go ahead and get one of those. I collected a little bit of wood off screen before I started for my starting pick, and so I could get some food and stuff. So, oh, that's andesite cobblestone. So I was getting andesite cobblestone instead. That should still work for tools as well. I'm not real sure. Let's go ahead and pack this. The atmosphere mod is turned on as well. I also installed that. It's a little bit loud, so I might have to change that. Let's see. Nope, sound is just 34, so that might be kind of loud. We might not be able to do that with the swiping like this. It's kind of loud, but we'll see. Actually, let me change this just a little bit, and hopefully that'll be less obnoxious. Yeah, it's a little bit less obnoxious. Good. So this is the hungry version of the mod pack, which is a little bit harder to get used to than, I suppose, the regular versions, due to the fact that hunger plays a really big part in survival, more so than normal. There's a lot of things that you really have to make sure you have in order before you go out adventuring, because once you start getting hungry, you start getting like status effects like weakness and things like that. So we definitely want to avoid that at all costs. Let's go ahead a little bit further down and see if there's any iron and stuff available. It looks like they didn't strip this out too bad. Hopefully they didn't, at least. Being that they went this far down, I'm sure they stretched out quite a bit, so we can probably just take off in any direction. I see there's some redstone and stuff left behind. They're probably not using a whole bunch of that. Let's just pick a direction and go, shall we? This is opposite the hall, so I could go this way. And now that I'm down in the dungeon, it's a little creepy. Probably plays a little bit of tricks on you with the music that I have playing. I do all that post-editing, though. It's not something that I listen to while I'm actually in. And this is really, really creepy, actually. The lighting in this mod pack is pretty cool, too. Like, I'm using the dynamic lighting, so when I put the torch in my hand, I see, you know, the light. And it actually does a lot to frame rate, so I don't use it too often. I suppose I can turn it off. I didn't bring a whole lot of torches, so I'm going to, probably not going to be able to go too deep unless I find some coal. Although I do have plenty of wood on me, so if I do find coal, it should be fine. So hopefully we find some relatively soon. I might have to go higher up for it to be a little bit more. Ah, there we go. Iron. I'll turn the light on so you guys can see. Yeah, this is going to help a lot. There's some starting items that I'd like to get. I'd actually like to get a musket. I'm going to play this, like I said before, I'm Cajun, so I'm going to play this a little bit like living off the land would be in around my hometown. A lot of people around here hunt and fish and do things of that nature. So when you get into a mod pack like this, the first nature is just to do what you know to try to survive. So which is pretty cool, because a lot of my real life I just cook a lot and eat a lot. Not to say I'm fat or anything. I'm not exactly thin. I'm healthy. I'm pleasantly plump. We'll go with that. So a lot of what we cook is like rice and gravy, which I don't think they have any rice and gravy in this mod pack, but we'll figure out something for sure. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get some of this done off camera, get some basic tools, and I'll bring you back when I start doing cool stuff. Well, y'all, this is something I would consider pretty cool. I found a little vein of diamond along with some iron. I kept just going straight down that path that I had been mining down when I last left off, and I just found this, and I've been finding quite a lot of iron. Found a little bit of gold, some flint, which I'm going to need for some of the cooler tools. I saw some javelins and stuff like that I can make. One thing I didn't show y'all earlier is this doesn't use an EI, but it does use a craft book. And this, you can look at all sorts of recipes. I wanted a little ranged weapon, so I actually built a stone boomerang. And this thing's really, really cool. Basically, you just hold it down like that, and you let it loose, and it flies. And if it doesn't intersect with something, it actually just comes right back to you. Although, from the looks of it, I may have just lost it. Oh man, did I break my only boomerang? I can't believe. Ooh, what are these? Do I leave footprints in gravel? That's kind of neat. Well, the stone boomerang was very, very easy to make, only because it was just a few items, you know, a couple of pieces of wood, a few pieces of wood, and a few pieces, and one piece of stone, I believe, or iron. But I can make some more of those. That's not a problem. But these diamonds are definitely going to help me with the tool situation really, really, really quick. There was some lava right there, so I just filled it in. So what I'm going to do now that I have enough iron and some diamonds to actually build some proper tools and start up a little farm and stuff, I'm going to go up top and I'll find a little place to settle. As we talked about in the last episode, Vaughn kind of wanted us to stay around the starting island to at least build a starter home. So that's what I plan on doing. So I'll meet you guys back there. Alright guys, so I got established quite a bit. Melted down all that iron, made a full set of warmer. Actually, now that I think about it, since I have a few levels, I may as well enchant some of this stuff. Let me put some of this junk on the ground for now, and we'll see if we can just get a little bit of enchantment going on that iron armor. So let's see. Yeah, we'll do level 1s for now. That should just give me protections. That should not be bad at all. Projectile protection. Looking like it's going to be a little well-rounded. Protection 1. And... oh, the helmet. Yeah. Of course. The hat. Unbreaking 1 and blast protection. That's not as nice as I would have thought, but it'll definitely do. Now I'm all enchanted. And I got quite a bit of armor from the looks of it down there, so I should be protected relatively well. I do want to make another boomerang too. Let's see, I have iron, that's good. Let me make some wood, planks. 4 is all it should take. And now I can place them like so. No, like so. Boom. Iron boomerang, beautiful. I wonder if I can enchant that actually. I very, very seriously doubt it. I can. Should we go for max? Is 6 the max or is 7 the max? 8 is the max. Okay. Well, I will definitely go with level 8 if I can do it. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference, but it should give me, well, hopefully it'll have a good enchantment on it. And that'll be what I use to get those pesky mobs that are hard to get in melee range with. I do need some gunpowder too, so I can start on my gun. Every good hunter's got to have a good gun to shoot with, right? Or at least in a mod pack, if there is a gun. 8. Smite 2. Well, it'll be good against skeletons. We'll take it. Let me just put it right there. Okay, so now that I'm all equipped, let me pick up my belongings. We don't really need this 3 gravel. That'll be good. It'll despawn, or it should at least. So now, to find a place that we can settle down, let's see. I believe, let me go, I think Joe had talked about going where those fish traps were, and I need to check those anyway because I am in need of some more fish. I have 13 cooked fish left on me. This is by far what I think is the best go-to solution for starting off in food. I'm not sure how complicated it is to make these. Let's see. Fish traps. Fish traps, or it looks like string. Yeah, string might be a problem. You'd probably have to kill some spiders or grow some cotton. Come on, cow. I am trying to, ooh, I'm trying to get some fish here. Okay, so we can actually throw this, ooh, power 1, unbreaking 1. And unbreaking 1, we're gonna have to throw some of these things away. Let's see. I'd hate to throw away those sticks. I got so much cobble and so much gravel. I think I'm gonna throw away the gravel actually. And what else can I toss? I'll have so much more room very, very soon. This salt I don't really need right now, but I would still hate to throw it away. Let's throw away some more gravel and pick up these fish, and we'll save, I'm guessing I should probably just, I don't have torches made yet. Oh, look, the stingrays, that's pretty cool. The cow is just swimming right along with it. Let's see what else these fish traps have. Ooh, I need ink sacs, definitely, for the colored decorations and stuff. Dirt, we can trade that out for dirt. There's still plenty of fish in there. 13, 9. I can probably just switch these out. There we go. And let's look in here. Wow. I'll make a lot of noise with these swords and stuff. Maybe I could delete that specific sound out of the atmosphere mod. I'm not sure yet. Everything else looks pretty straightforward. I think I'm going to keep what I got right now. I believe it ought to be good for at least starting out, you know. I don't need too much. So I marked the fish trap so it's easy for me to find. That way I don't go hungry. And I think Joe had said something about settling here. So let me see. If I go a little bit further out this way, I want to see what exactly is in this neighborhood. And I might settle out right here. I can always set my own fish traps in the back when I start getting some string. That's where the native hut is. I don't know if I specifically want to go where the native hut is. I don't think it'll be very peaceful living right there. There's some fruit trees out here that they've planted. Some bamboo. And that's a little island, maybe? Yeah, that looks like a little island. What exactly? Oh, it just kind of started spawning in. Well, this is out. This is Badge's place, I believe. So let's see. I suppose I don't want to encroach on anybody's territory. Let's go on the other side of the island and see what we're looking at. This is still relatively close to Badge, I believe. What about this back area here? It's a little higher than I would have hoped for, because I would have liked to have gone and built a fishing dock and stuff. The island's kind of raised up off the water. Look at the whales. It's really cool. The shaders do some weird stuff with water. These shaders at least. But if I switch it to... You'll be able to see when I hit Zeus. Zeus is pretty amazing, man. It does some weird stuff with lighting, though. Does some really weird stuff with lighting, but I can play around with it for a second until it starts to get aggravating. Alright, so see, this is all behind here. I'll go a little bit further down on this side. There is another house here. I really don't want to get too close to anybody. Let me walk around a little bit and I'll find a spot to settle down in. Alright, so I found a little place that I can call home. For now it's just a little establishment so that I could do some terraforming where I found it. Just to give you an idea of proximity, if I don't get shot by these guys, let me hit this dude with my boomerang. See if I could do that. Oh yeah, baby. One more. Wow. That thing can fly, huh? Oh no, I stuck it. Let me kill this spider too. So I need string. Give me my boomerang back. The boomerang is not the most reliable weapon in the world, but it's something. I could get some licks on some stuff. And then it's smite too. It seemed like it would have did more damage to that skeleton. Anyways, so I just put these little stones down just for a place to store some items and stuff, so I wouldn't have to always keep running to the bunkhouse, and I could do some stuff at night instead of just sleeping through it. This is the area that I want to terraform. A little bit out this way is the fish traps, and Joe's going to be settling there. And I believe Orcus's boat, yeah, that's Orcus's boat that we saw in the last episode. So I'm not too close to anybody, and Vaughn's, of course, is right there, if you can see it with the blinding sun. It is right there, though. Uh-oh, it looks like a storm is approaching. Well, it's good weather for terraforming, I suppose. I'm going to knock down this hill, flatten it out, and harvest a little bit of this wood so that the area's a little more opened up for me. And then when we come back, I'll show you where I start placing the real house. Be right back. Well, about 7 iron shovels later and a double chest full of dirt, the hill is no more. It took a long time. Actually, it's been hours since I last recorded, mostly due to the fact that I died over and over and over again. Remember that storm that I said was good terraforming weather? Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. But the job is done, and I recovered most of the stuff that I had lost in one way or another. I actually mined a little bit because I had to go find some more iron, and the equipment that I got has changed a little bit, and also the items that I got changed a little bit. But for the most part, we are set. Vaughn's fish traps have been saving my life, and I've actually got one back here. I made one. It's down here. To do them are really, really easy, actually. All you need is some string, which is a little harder to get than I expected, and some sticks. So you place the string like so, and the sticks in the corners, and you have a fish trap. And I was just informed that these actually work with hoppers as well. So I'm definitely going to have to set up some sort of system that goes well with them. Let me go ahead and place this trap right here. There we go. And I can actually check the other one. There we go. Some boots, which I don't need. And, well, get them out. Some boots that I don't need and some more fish. So definitely a lifesaver are these fish traps. Probably the most overpowered food source that I've seen so far. Overpowered for this mod. But I digress, guys. This is going to be it for this episode. This beautiful mod will, and me, will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and I'll see you next time.